Hey people, what's up? So, I'm trying to get better about having a consistent upload schedule. I'm also trying to get more comfortable about recording YouTube videos when I'm not home alone, because it's kind of fucking weird and I feel awkward as fuck. But, that's something I'm gonna have to work on, so let's do it. So today I wanted to do a story time about one of my biggest tattoo nightmares and regrets. This has spanned over many years, and I'm just now pretty much to the point where it's no longer a thing, luckily. But most people don't know this very much about me just because I've hid it so well. I have talked about it a little bit on my other social media, but not in depth. I've just talked a little bit about, like, hey, I'm getting laser treatment today, but I haven't gotten too much into it. As a teenager, I was super into the whole scene alternative thing, and I really wanted a bunch of tattoos and piercings. But my parents were kind of strict, and I wasn't allowed to dye my hair or get tattoos. And I know some people were like, oh, you're seen now, but that's just fucking insulting, man. Do you know how much effort I put to look like this? This is fucking lazy. This took hours. Do you know how long it took to do my fucking hair? So I wanted a piercing really, really fucking bad. Like, all I wanted was like a little nose stud or a Monroe piercing. My parents just would not let that happen. They barely let me get my ears pierced, and they were pretty outraged when I started stretching them, because you don't need parental consent to buy fucking tapers from Hot Topic. But otherwise, yeah, they could control whether or not I got a piercing, and I was very pissed off about that. And when I was 17, I met this really shady dude and started dating him, and I got into all sorts of bad shit that I didn't even, know I could do. Such as, I really wanted my Monroe pierced, but my parents wouldn't let me, so I let him pierce it with a nail, and my face blew up so bad, I looked like I got a shitload of fillers, and it was really, really bad, and I totally regret that. I wish I had pictures of it. But that's not the point. I'm rambling. The point is, at one point, this guy I was dating got a tattoo machine off of eBay, and he really wanted to be a tattoo artist. This dude had absolutely no artistic talent. He was mostly tattooing himself and, his friends, little smiley face and stuff. But he insisted on tattooing me, even though I didn't want a tattoo from him. I wanted good tattoos. Now, excuse my hairy ass leg, but I'm going to show you this. So, the first tattoo he managed to give me was a bass clef note. It is right there in the leaf. It got a cover up. But, let's see if I can get closer. Yeah, you can see it. I need to get that touched up. Anyway, so that is the first one that he tattooed on me. I was 17. I was kind of coerced into it, but I was also really wanting a tattoo and wanting to feel cool, and I instantly regretted it. It looked like shit, and honestly, as soon as I scabbed up, I kept trying to pick it out of my skin. And I did end up getting that covered up for my 18th birthday. My parents paid for a cover-up because they hated it so much, and they hated that guy. And they probably would have never paid for me to get a tattoo if I didn't fucking do that, but it gets worse. You can see? I am a massive dumbass, and I do not learn lessons. So, once again, I let him tattoo me because I didn't have money, and I couldn't afford a good tattoo, and at this point, he was getting better at it, so I figured, you know what, maybe it'll work out better this time. So, I wanted Sid Sprites from Spirited Away. Figured they're relatively easy, they're super cute, can't really fuck that up. And then my second mistake. I let him do it on my neck. Does anyone else think my wall tapestry look like it has pussies on it? Or is that just me? Sorry, I was getting distracted in those. That looks like a pussy. Anyway, I let this dude come into my fucking apartment and tattoo me in my fucking bedroom. And I immediately, once again, regretted it. It didn't even take that long. I drew out the tattoo design. The design was really cute, and despite him using a stencil, it looked nothing like my drawing. It was so shaky. Some lines were dug in there really deep, and some of them were really light, and it was just awful. Here is a picture of it, by the way. Yeah, I was walking around that on my neck until I was 25. So about 6 years of this fucking monstrosity on my neck. And you want to know the worst part? Like 2 fucking days after I got this goddamn tattoo, he knocks on my apartment door and he's just like, I'm gonna be a daddy. And I'm just like, I'm not pregnant. So, now we're not even together. And I have this big crappy tattoo on my neck that I see every single time I see my reflection. And it makes me insane. Like, oh my god, I am so fucking stupid. That's why I'm so good at giving people advice, because I'm a fucking idiot and I've made every single bad decision ever, so now I know the consequences of said decision, so I could tell you, hey, don't do that, because then you'll turn out like me. And this thing legitimately ruined my life for years. So many places, because it was right here, so I couldn't really hide it with my hair or anything, and makeup was not covering it up. Even like really heavy concealer didn't cover it up. So I would go and apply for jobs and stuff, and they would see this piece of shit on my neck, and they would tell me no. Or they'd be like, oh yeah, we'll look at your resume, whatever, don't come back. And I'm someone who wants to be a tattoo artist, so how am I expected to be a tattoo apprentice if I have that big, horrible blob right there on my neck? Like, would you trust someone with that to tattoo you? I fucking wouldn't. Anyway, during the time I was a bit of a crackhead. I didn't ever do crack, but like I was living the crackhead life where I was like, you know, drunk all the time and everything was just shitty. So my parents weren't really talking to me at all. They were just like, you know, kind of done with me, and they weren't gonna get this covered up for me. And I couldn't fucking afford to get it covered up because cover-ups are really expensive and they're also really painful. That one on my leg fucking hurt like a bitch. You know, I get to be 25 and I finally kind of straightened my life out and become a functional human being, finally. So, my parents decide, if I give up all my birthday and Christmas presents for like the next 2 years, they will take me to get this shit lasered off my neck. And I'm super pumped for this. Like, I've seen videos of laser treatments. It looked like this quick, easy thing where they just hit it with a laser, it gets all puffy, and then it's gone. And it is not that at all. So I find this really nice esthetician, and we do a consultation. She looks at my neck. Since it's a crappy tattoo and was only black ink, so it's not going to be that hard to get off, but it's still going to be a process. She specialized in getting rid of prison tattoos like teardrops and swastikas, and I guess idiot crackheads who let their boyfriend tattoo them. And then for the next year and a half, like every month or so, as you get the treatments, you space them out until they're farther away. I had to go in and get laser treatments. And anyone who's ever gotten a tattoo lasered off can tell you that shit hurts worse than a tattoo. If you ever worked fast food or made bacon while naked or something, when you get that hot grease splashed onto you, that's what it feels like consistently as they intricately go over the lines of the tattoo. For me, it never puffed up like you see in those videos. It just turned really, really red and I would get some blisters. Yeah, that shit hurt like getting splattered with hot grease, and then it hurt like a 3rd-degree sunburn for a few days afterwards, and it smelled like cooking meat while I had it done. I went into this thing thinking like, oh, this is gonna be easy, it's no problem, I've gotten tattoos, It's nothing. Then she hands me this fucking big stress ball, and she's just like, I'm gonna need you to squeeze this. And then she gives me these big thick sunglasses and has me put them on. And I had to take out the jewelry in my ears because it's a laser and I guess it's conductive. And then when she starts that stress ball, I squeeze the fuck out of that thing. It hurts. And overall, I went to about 9 sessions. And how it works is it lasers the spot, and it doesn't get any lighter right then when you get it lasered. Over the next few weeks, your body starts to break down the tattoo, and you kind of process it through your body, and then it gets released through like waste. Like you pee out your tattoo. So that's why there's a waiting period in between while your body lightens it up, and it very slowly gets lighter. It starts off with black, then it starts to turn brown, and then it just gets really faint. And even now, I had 9 treatments, but you can still kind of see it. Like, it's light enough where people don't know it's there unless I point it out, but I can still see it, and it has so many bad memories attached to it, it drives me nuts. I know a lot of people are like me, being like, 15, 16, 17, and they really want a tattoo and their parents won't let them. So then you're like, oh, my friend of a friend of a friend knows this guy who got a machine off of eBay, and he's been drawing for a long time, so he's probably really good. Or, oh yeah, I can do some stick and pokes, and then you get stuck with a little tiny planet on your ankle that looks like shit. Don't do that. I know the idea of having a tattoo is really tempting when you're young, but just fucking wait. Those little tiny ones, they look like shit. You're immediately gonna regret it. Like, it's worth waiting for. Like, this cost me quite a bit of money, and I don't regret waiting for it. I think it was worth waiting for. Being impatient cost me so much money. I spent over $1,000, or my parents spent over $1,000 to get this removed, and I feel so fucking bad about that. Like, plus, I could have got like a sick ass tattoo for the amount that was spent on doing this stupid free tattoo. And I'm lucky that my parents stepped in and helped me fix this mistake, but not everyone's that lucky. Like, you could be walking around permanently with this awful tattoo, or have something like so absurd that there's no way you can cover it up with something reasonable, and you get stuck with a cover-up you don't even like. So, just be patient, okay? It's worth it. You're in for a long life. Hopefully you have plenty of time to get tattoos, and getting tattoos is fun as an adult, so it's nice to sit around, wait for your next tattoo, thoughtfully plan this. Plus, as you age, a lot of the stuff that you would have wanted to get as a teenager stops being so appealing. Like, I still want a tattoo of Pokemon and Gloomy Bear. I'm just saying. But, if it had been up to me at 14, I could have got a tattoo. I would have a big scene diamond on my chest, and that would have been a lot of good real estate taken up by something I'm not even into anymore. So, just chill, grow out of the nautical stars, grow out of the band logos, and then get something you really like. It's not worth it. It's so painful and unpleasant, and it never fully goes away. And that's my story about how much of an idiot I am. So, if you have a bad tattoo story, I encourage you to tell it too, because scratcher tattoos are so stigmatized, and there are some really talented people, but there are a lot of people that really got fucked up by scratchers and are just living with the shame. It's just an experience. It's a story to tell now, and while I regret it, it is part of my history, and I guess my mistakes are something I can tell to other people and help them learn from my mistakes. Thank you for listening to my story. I'm sorry if I was quiet. Like I said, I'm embarrassed. People can hear me through the vents, and it's weird. So I'm gonna go edit this now. Maybe go hang out on Twitter. Do something, since I'm really really bored at home, maybe decorate my room a little more, maybe do something about the vaginas. Well, I hope you all have a great day, and don't get no stupid tattoos. Bye.